Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to look at an analyst who is now predicting Bitcoin is going to dump down to 90,000. We're going to look at the track record and whether we will agree with that or not. We're going to look at some charts, some other fun stuff. But before we do that, you know what I'm going to say next. If you're a regular watcher, smash the likes. That does help get this channel out to more people and does help support the channel. Really appreciate all the kind words that you leave in the comments section below. You take the time to write it. I take the time to read it. Many thanks for that. And of course, those of you that ask questions in the comments section, I do get back to those as soon as I am able to. And if you'd like to have more direct access to me, you can sign up to the Stocks with Josh Discord. I'm in there daily in the crypto channel with some of the most amazing people on the planet. Also, there's the meme coin channel there, aka the party zone. And I have my own Crown Traders channel in there as well, where I share education, insights, resources, some of my trade setups, and of course, entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And so you can get signed up for that. Just click below in the description. There might be a little more button that you have to click and it will pop open the description. Under there as well, you'll find my X account and account there, Crypto Coins 365. If you're following me on there, I'm choosing people random to receive giveaways. That's the way that I'll find you, to show my gratitude and love towards this amazing community that we built. So just make sure that you're following me there. Not going to be able to give away to everybody, but we do randomly select some people there to receive giveaways. You'll just need to do that. Make sure you're a subscriber here on YouTube and make sure you have the Sui wallet, because that's how we send the tokens out via the Sui ecosystem there. All right, so yesterday we talked about some of this January data here, the lows for all of January being on average on the 12th. And we're on the 5th of January now. So the average is the 5th for all post-halving years, the 1st, the 4th, and the 12th. I did a poll in Discord yesterday, and it came up around 50-50 that some people thought the bottom was in for January, and some people didn't think the bottom was in. Which, so there's a little bit of a split 50-50 there, that some people think, okay, yep, the bottom is in, and if we do pump up and have a big drop, it won't be as low as where we are now. And some people don't think that the bottom is in, and that we're either going to go lower from here, or we're going to pump up and go a lot lower from what the low has been for January so far. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, of course, we did have our one and only Jim Cramer believes that Bitcoin will dump to 90K. Now, generally speaking, the opposite happens, and that's a big buy signal. And so do you think Jim Cramer is right, and then we're going to come back to 90K or below? Or do you think that we are now off to the races and we're not going to see that 90K region again? I'd be interested to see your thoughts on that. But of course, we did talk about how Bitcoin in the past has had big pumps, like in 2013, and hasn't dropped till the 24th of January, and had a large drop there. And then obviously how there were drops around the earlier part of the month, on the 5th of January, that didn't bottom out until the 12th. And then, of course, in January 2021, where we saw a drop earlier in the month, and then a pump of 50%, and then a bigger drop on the January the 8th, which bottomed by January the 22nd. And so let's have a look at the charts here and see what we can see with Bitcoin here. So first and foremost, we do have this pattern of lower highs here. And we do have these wicks here. This is, these are quite bearish wicks, 1, 2, 3 of them here. And currently we're going to see how this one closes, and this will actually close out the week for us. If we actually go to the weekly time frame here, you can see currently that would be fairly bearish there, as was the previous weeks. And we do have those pin bar candles again on the weekly chart there as well. If we go to the 3-day chart here, We also do see some of the similar large wicks here and here, not as much on these other ones that are there. We do have a wick down the bottom that did hold a support. All that leads us to is more sideways action between this 92,900 and this 97,900. We have traded in between here, apart from this little rocket ship here up to this 108K region. Now, I do expect us to get back to these areas here, by the way. I'm not thinking that this is the top, and we could certainly go there again this month. And January we could have, because we really didn't have that Christmas rally that got cut short on the 25th, and we really just bled out through until the end of the year, and we've kind of continued with the sideways action here for Bitcoin. And so with you look at what we're seeing here is sideways consolidation, and that generally would lead me to feel that there will be at some point a nice move to the upside or to the downside. And I'm leaning more to the upside at this point. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't come down and clip this 92,700 or this 90,000, or even come down here and just scare the pants off some people here before we start to make our way up. But I do believe at some point Bitcoin is going to make its move. Generally by February, it's in full flight, and the first quarter has historically been very bullish for Bitcoin. So if we are going to have a drop, we're going to need to see one, I would think, sometime this month. Now, we are above the 50-day moving average, which is bullish. It is bullish that we're above the 50-day moving average. We're quite some distance from the 200 EMA, and we're quite some distance from the 100 EMA, 100 moving average on the daily time frame there, which is sitting at about 83,700. But that's moving up all the time, as is the 200 EMA on the daily there. And we would see the 200 simple moving average much further down there, around $72,000. So are we going to have that inverse Cramer take place? And maybe we're not going to see that January drop thanks to Jim Cramer there. That'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. Let's look at the yellow brick road here, which is your first time watching the channel. This is where there are leveraged longs and shorts that can be liquidated. People have borrowed money to bet that the market is going long or vice versa, going short, and they can be liquidated. And you can see all the highest levels of liquidation. Right now, if we just refresh the 12-hour time frame, we're looking that there is liquidation right below us. If I'm the market maker, I'm probably looking to come and grab this $97,000 level. There is some above at 99,000. If we go to the 24-hour time frame here, we do see that again, 99,000, there's a fair amount of liquidity, and below at 97. So this would lead me to think that we are trading within that possible range here. Again, there's 97 there. Let's go to the 3-day time frame. And we are seeing some real bright yellow there at 99 again, and at 97, but a little bit lower there at 96. So it's possible that we come down, sweep that 96, 95K area as well there. We go to the weekly time frame, and there is a lot of liquidity below price. And so this is what makes me a little bit nervous that at some point, are the market makers going to come and flush all of that out all the way down to that 90,000? Maybe Jim Cramer is correct there. But at some point, they're going to leave it behind and leave some behind. But you can see, even if you really zoom out, there is even a lot more lower that has been left behind. Even down to 74,000, there's 206 million of liquidation leverage down to that level there. But there is a lot up, 157 million at that 109,000 level, which would put us at a new all-time high there. So following the yellow brick road has tended to give us a little bit of guidance. I don't use this as a standalone indicator, but certainly this does help me kind of look and see what possibly I would do if I'm the market maker. And if I'm the market maker, I'm going to come down and get that 97 to 95K level, and then I'll look to probably come up and grab up around that 100K level. Now, if we look at how this equates to the charts here, we can actually see that we are right at this Fibonacci level here, which means we could, if the market maker wants to try and get this levels up here, then this would be these levels here to get that liquidity. And we're above the Fibonacci, which is good, or we're right on it, or actually we've just peaked right below it, and we're just sitting on that 50-day moving average, which does lead me, especially with these wicks here, they're a little bit bearish for the market makers to come down and pick up those areas down here. There's some EMA support ribbon bands down at that 94,000 level. And 94 has been an area that we have stopped off at before. It's kind of been that 90 and 92 and 94, and then we're at this 99, 90, 97, 98, and 100,000 level. So this is an area that has shown a lot of interest for buyers and sellers, and we're just trying to work out to see how Bitcoin is going to continue to go there. And so let's look at some Bitcoin dominance. This is broken down, and we do see this under the 200 EMA on the daily. I did say I wouldn't be surprised if this came back and retested. Now, if this retests and it breaks through, that's going to be a little bit bearish for altcoins, and that could coincide with a little bit of a Bitcoin drop. However, if we reject here and then we continue and make a lower low, which would be lower than the 56.63%, that would continue to lead to some upside to the altcoin season. Remember, I don't think we're in altcoin season just yet, but this can be. I did a video yesterday. If you haven't checked that out yet, that was an altcoin video that I did in regards to, I covered a lot of altcoins, by the way, the last chance to pick up some of these altcoins. And that can quite possibly be. I remember it was early in 2021 that I first picked up Solana at around $12. And I didn't see that $12 again until the bear market. And so when I say maybe last chance to pick up some of these altcoins, yeah, it could well be a last chance to pick up some of these altcoins at these levels until much later. And so I went through that. So if you haven't checked out that video, make sure that you check that out, and that can maybe help you find some levels for some of your favorite altcoins. I certainly wouldn't be going heavy into any plays at the moment. I think we've had periods of time during this bull run where we've seen those deep red candles and those fear candles there. I had a buy that hit while I was sleeping last night, but it was just a little bit of a nibble. I just picked up a little bit more of an altcoin there, but I have the majority of my buys, and I'm locked, ready, and loaded and ready to go. All right, we're going to leave it there for today. I do appreciate you tuning in, and of course, all your wonderful and fantastic support. And until the next episode, happy trading.